Hey everybody, I'm Rusty and this is YouFix It Garage. In this video, we're going to be adding factory heated seats to this 2022 Ram 1500 Backcountry Edition that did not come with factory heated seats. So if you're just now getting to this video, you're probably wondering what's it going to cost, how hard is it going to be, can I do this myself? You may want to watch the video that I did prior to this, which goes over all of those things, how to inspect your truck and determine what wiring harness you have, what you already have in your seats, and is this within your comfort zone. So I'm going to put a link to that video here. Go check it out if you haven't already. If you are coming from that video to here, we're going to get right into this. I'm going to show you the wiring harness that I made for my truck, how it goes in, and give you the resources and tools you're going to need to hopefully make this a relatively easy project. As I was doing the research to do this mod, and especially as I began shooting the video for it, I realized that it's just too much information to explain in a video. Where each wire goes, what length that wire needs to be, all that kind of stuff when we're dealing with 12 different wires. So partially for my own purposes, partially for the video purposes, I created a written guide that explains all of this whole process in detail. And this guide, along with this video, is going to help you do this. I have one request. Subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, leave a comment, and any parts you order, use the links that I provide. None of that is going to cost you a thing. It's going to take you a few seconds to do it, and it's going to make this worthwhile for me to do these videos. So in this guide, what I have done, this thing is 30 pages, and it gives you the wire diagram for the heated seats, the wire diagram for the heated steering, the pinouts for every connector that you're going to deal with, the part numbers that I could locate for the different parts that are involved in these systems. And then most importantly, it tells you every single wire that you're going to have to add, how long that wire needs to be, what gauge that wire needs to be, what connectors go on each end of that wire, and the pin numbers of each connector where that wire connects in the vehicle. So with this guide and this video, I think anybody with reasonable skills should be able to do this mod. So look in the description of this video. There's a link to 5th generation Ram forums where I've posted a copy of this, and you can download it from there, and then you can use it in this accompanying video. If you're not able to find it, PM me and I will send you a PDF copy of this document. In my last video, I showed you where to inspect your body wiring harness under your passenger seat to determine if your body wiring harness has the wires in place. I need to show you where to inspect your instrument panel wire harness. So this is behind the passenger side kick panel. This connector right here, you're going to inspect the wires going in. This is the portion that's going to the instrument panel. This portion goes back to the body wiring harness. You want to inspect and see if you have the wires on this side that correspond to the diagram that I'm putting up right here. So in this diagram, you can see where the wires need to be, and you can tell if you have them. If you have them, then your instrument panel wire and harness is good, and you'll be able to wire into right here instead of going straight to the fuse box with the wires that correspond to that. If you don't have them, the easiest way to do this is to just bypass this plug altogether, and you're going to go all the way over to the other side of the vehicle and use fuse taps to just fuse into your power distribution. All right, I brought you out here to the shop because I want to go over the tools you're going to need for the wiring and for removal of your seats. If you're going to be adding all the components into your seats, you're going to need a few more tools. My seats already had it, so I don't have those laying out here. So let me show you what you need. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is a copy of this guide that I mentioned earlier. This is going to tell you everything you need to know about how to make the wiring harness that you're going to need and where they plug in. So definitely get yourself a copy of that. Then going from there, you're going to need various different pliers. A pair of needle nose pliers helps a lot. This is a pair of wire strippers. You don't necessarily have to have these. You can use a knife or something else, but they make it easy. This is an absolute necessity. This is an automotive crimper, and it crimps these open end connectors that go into automotive plugs. I don't think you could do this successfully without this tool because these connectors are so small. So there's a link to in the description to that. This is just a regular crimper that you use with the little butt connectors. I don't use butt connectors because I don't trust them. I solder and use heat shrink. But if you do, you'll need that, a pair of wire cutters. I've got some heat shrink tubing here. Of course, your wire, if you are doing just the seats, you're going to need 20 gauge and 18 gauge wire. If you're doing the steering column also, or the steering wheel, you're going to need some 16 gauge wire. You're going to need these fuse taps. If your interior wire harness isn't wired for the heated seats, that plug that we checked in the passenger kick panel, if it's not wired, then the easiest thing to do is get these fuse taps, and you're just going to tap into your distribution, your power distribution under your steering wheel. You're going to need fuses for those, a soldering gun and solder. This is automotive wire wrap. It's like a material type tape that you wrap your wires with, wire gauge, electrical tape. These are the connectors that you're going to need for tapping into those plugs. The sockets for taking the seat loose. This is an E12 socket that goes to your seats, and then you're going to need just regular socket set to get the center console out. All right, once you're ready to make your wiring harness, you're going to get your guide out here, flip to the page right here that says create your wiring harness, and then you're just going to follow this step by step. So right now we're going to make this first wire right here that goes between the driver and the passenger seat. Plugs into pin number 4 on the passenger seat and pin number 3 on the driver's seat. So let's make a label for it first. So we'll just mark this P4, and this one right here is going to be D3. So now I know what pin holes those are going to go in. I can take this label, put it on one end. All right, wrap it around there. So now I know that one's going to the passenger. This one's going to the driver. And this tells me it needs to be an 8-foot long wire, 18 gauge, with these small connectors on both ends. So I'll take my wire strippers right here. I'm going to strip just a tiny bit of wire off the end right there. Take this little bitty crimp connector and make sure that I'm pinching onto the insulation and also the bare end of the wire. My automotive wire crimpers right here. And this is a little contrary. You got to get it pinched in there just right. Sometimes you got to eyeball it a little bit, kind of fiddle with it a couple times, but once you get used to this, it gets a little easier. All right, so there I've crimped that wire really well. And I'm going to take a little bit of solder, and you don't have to do this, but to me it just makes it a much more secure connection. You don't want to put any heat shrink on here because the holes that these go into are really small. You just want to leave it just like that. So I'll put another connector on this end, and that wire will be done. So you just do that for all of the wires in the guide right here for either the seats or the steering wheel, and that'll have your wiring harness made. Pull both seats out. You're gonna have to pull your center console out, and we're gonna start adding wires in here. So in mine, I don't have the heated seat in either. So I'm gonna run from the passenger seat to the driver's seat, what I need to run, and then I'm gonna run from the passenger seat up here to the CAN bus system and to the power distribution center. Once you have your wiring harness made, now it's time to add it into your existing wiring harness. So this is the passenger seat connector, and if you look on the top of the connector, there's a little white bar that runs across the top of the connector. In order to add these wires into the back of this connector, we have to open up this little gate right here that keeps the wires in. So you're going to take a screwdriver and you're just going to pry up right here, if you can get it in there. All right, there you go. Now you see how it's raised up a little bit? That's all it takes. So now from the back side, we can just install those wires that we made in the right holes. To show this, I went ahead and routed the wires underneath the carpet, and the ones that go over to the driver's side are coming out there. The others are coming out under the carpet on the other side. And so for right now, I am focusing on getting them connected to this passenger connector. So I've labeled the wires, P for passenger, and then the numbers for the pins where they go in. And then I'm just sticking them in from the back in the appropriate hole. I've got my diagram right there. And I stick them in until they click. Some of them I've had to take a pair of pliers and kind of push a little bit to get them clicked up in there. Once they're all in, then I'll pop this white retainer back down. Running the wires between the passenger seat plug and the driver's seat plug is pretty straightforward. There's 5 wires that go in between the two of them. As long as you get those wires in the proper pin holes on each plug, you're good to go there. Route it underneath your carpet, wrap it with that automotive wire wrap, secure it where it's out of the way and not going to get pinched or worn, and you're good to go with those 5 wires. Now, depending on whether you're adding just heated seats or you're adding heated seats and a heating steering wheel, that's going to determine the number of additional wires that are going to go up underneath the dash right here. And also whether or not you have your instrument panel wire harness is already wired for heated seats. So we inspected that plug on the other side. If it's already wired on the instrument panel side for heated seats, instead of coming over here and connecting to your power distribution center over here on the driver's side, that's where you're going to connect to the 3 wires that go to the power distribution center. That's explained in the guide that I'm going to give you. If not, you're going to connect to the power distribution center under the driver's steering wheel. It's the fuse box. And we're connecting to the fuses that operate the heated seats. It's not like we're connecting into a different portion of the truck or whatever. You're not going to mess anything up. We're just using fuse taps because it's so much easier to connect to the front of the fuse box than it would be to go to the back and try and wire into that big plug on the back of the power distribution center. So there are 2 wires for the heated seats that go to the power distribution center, and there's 1 wire for the heated steering wheel that go to the power distribution center. And then other than that, you have 2 additional wires that go to the CAN bus system. I believe they come from pin 14 and 15 on the passenger seat, but verify that. They come across here and they go to the CAN bus system. So I'm going to show pictures of the CAN bus system where it connects. I'm going to show pictures of the power distribution center where those connect. Up underneath the driver's side kick panel, this is the interior CAN bus connector, and you're going to connect to this top rail. You'll see my connector is white. There's these green connectors and there's white connectors, and the only difference between the 2 of them is a little tab on them. And all I could find was the white connector from a used vehicle, so I just cut the little tab off and made it work. So that's where that connects. These wires right here are going to go to my steering wheel once I get my new clock spring. I don't have that yet. And then up under the dash, you can see where I put those fuse taps in up there. And those just tapped into the appropriate places in the fuse box. And that gives me power as the easiest way to do that. All right, I want to talk about these fuse connectors, or the fuse taps, and how they work. So you're going to need to put a fuse in both sides of this connector. And the reason is that this outside leg right here is designed so that it goes in the positive hole or the powered side of the fuse, and it feeds across the fuse to your seats. But because of the way the fuse box is and the orientation that we have to put these in, this is going to be in the power side on at least 1 or more of them. So you're going to have to put a fuse here, and it'll feed the power here, across, up, and across to your accessory, which is fine. Just use the same amperage fuse in both. You're not feeding anything else off of that circuit because that is a circuit that's dedicated to your seats anyway, and it'll be fine. So just put a fuse in both of them, and then you'll put them into the power distribution center. All right, once you have your wires ran, you're on the downhill side of this project. You don't really need to add any more hardware to make the heated seats work. If you're adding a heated wheel, you're going to need to add a heated steering wheel and a new clock spring. I'm not going to cover that in this video. I'm going to cover it in a follow-up video. But if you're just doing the heated seats, you can activate them using Alpha OBD, and you'll be good to go. You'll have the soft buttons up here. Your seats will work. I'm going to cover the Alpha OBD here in a minute. If you're going to add a new center stack with the hard buttons, which is pretty nice, you're going to need to remove your center stack. So we're going to cover that now. Adding hard buttons to your center stack to control your seats and steering wheel is probably the easiest part of this entire process. Your existing center stack, you're going to pull it loose and then get your part that has the buttons in it, and we're going to replace just that. So what's involved in this is you have to remove this little cover right here from the top up on the dash, and there are 2 screws in the top of this bezel that have to come loose. Once those 2 screws are loose, what we're going to do is grab a hold of this firmly, and we're going to pull. This has all the way around the perimeter. There are little snap pins that snap it in place. Once those come loose, the whole piece comes loose. So we're going to reach up here, and it feels like you're breaking things, but it will just pop loose just like that. You have to be a little bit violent with it, but it will pop loose once you take those 2 screws loose. Once you have this pulled loose, you're going to reach around behind and disconnect the wires. It's all just little clips that have a little tab on them. You pull it, disconnect the wire. There's several things that are connected back here. Once you get this disconnected, it'll come out, and on your bezel there are little Torx screws all the way around the perimeter of this. You take those screws loose, this piece will come out. You can put the new piece in, and then just screw it back. Then once everything's back in here, make sure you connect all the wires, double check, then we're going to pop it back in place. I'm not going to show that process because it's pretty self-explanatory, and that'll get you up and running with hard buttons in your truck. All right, well, that's a lot of information, and it should give you some work to do for a while. In my next video, we're going to cover the programming and activating everything in the computer on your truck, and the final video will be adding the heated steering wheel. Thank you guys for watching.